In January 2025, UPS cut Amazon shipping by 50%. The share price tumbles 18%, but this was all part of the plan. The media says UPS is in trouble, but now they're actually making more money. How? For postal companies, Amazon is the biggest customer in the world, and UPS is firing them? But there's something strange about all of this. How do you dump your biggest customer and end up making more money? This isn't the first time UPS, aka United Parcel Service, has done this. To understand the full story, we need to take a step back to 2021, where UPS put all of this into motion. In July 2021, UPS makes an announcement that seems self-defeating. Carol Tome, the CEO, said, "The volume and revenue for Amazon is coming down. It would now be less than 11% of UPS's business. They would begin to scale back Amazon. From the outside, it seemed like self-sabotage, yet internally, it made perfect sense." They continue this through the next 5 years. Between 2021 and 2024, UPS on average reduced Amazon packages by about 250,000 per day. Despite this, Amazon stayed around 11% for about 4 years. Remember, this is Amazon we're talking about, a company which could easily absorb almost anything. Then came the 2025 announcement.
Like the sight of those brown UPS trucks pulling up to your door? You'll see fewer in the future now that UPS has announced it is cutting its Amazon deliveries by 50%.
UPS said the acceleration will result in about 1.25 million fewer daily Amazon deliveries. 50% of their business would be dropped by the second half of 2026. Fewer Amazon packages, most of which go to residential and suburban homes. So why do this? Amazon was already low at 11.8% of revenue, and now they were cutting that down to maybe around 6%. While there are obviously costs UPS saves, the infrastructure for delivering Amazon parcels is massive. Logistics centers, planes, those iconic trucks, software, and most of all, staff. That included 20,000 jobs and 73 facilities, all of them cut after moving away from Amazon. UPS was cutting $1 billion of costs in January 2025, now that Amazon was disappearing. But that was just the beginning. By April, UPS was planning to cut $3.5 billion in costs. But costs are just a part of making more money. They have less costs, but even less revenue now. UPS is essentially firing the boss. And even stranger, they're not the first to do this either. In 2019, FedEx did the same thing. In June, they chose not to renew Amazon's US Air Express contract, and in August, did the same thing with the ground delivery contract. Why are giant postal companies ditching Amazon? Do shipping companies actually do better by delivering fewer packages? Or are the critics right? If there's one lesson from UPS ditching Amazon, it's that you always have to be on your toes to stay ahead in our fast-moving world. And if you want to be taken seriously in the professional world today, having a website is absolutely critical. Not just a profile or a code repo, but an actual site you control end to end. That's why today's sponsor is Hostinger, and specifically their AI website builder, built to turn one day into day one. Hostinger is the most affordable way to get online and also one of the fastest. You can go from nothing to a real website in just a few clicks without hiring a developer or spending weeks setting things up. Everything you need lives in one place: the website builder, hosting, a domain, a professional email, and even an email marketing tool. If you go to pricing, the business plan is the one to pick. This is where all the AI and monetization features unlock. Hostinger makes it easy to sell physical products, digital products, or appointments with 0% transaction fees. There's also built-in blog support if you want to monetize content with ads or affiliate links. And with Hostinger's AI website builder, you can generate a full website in seconds. You enter your brand name, describe what you're building, and the AI creates the layout, copy, and images for you. From there, you can customize everything using a simple drag and drop editor. You also get built-in AI tools like an AI writer, image generator, and AI SEO tools to help optimize your site before it goes live. At checkout, I recommend the 48-month plan since it's the cheapest option, includes a free domain, extra months free, and locks in the lowest monthly price. You can enter my code, LogicallyAnswered, for an extra 10% off on top of the New Year discount. Thank you to Hostinger for supporting our videos. To find out, we need to look at how delivery companies work. Every package has 3 crucial parts to it. The first is revenue per piece. If you order some shoes on Amazon, they will pay UPS a certain amount to send it to you. This is how UPS gets their money, but that's not actually the important part. The second is cost per piece. Moving those shoes has a cost. Cost of the planes, the trucks, the staff, the logistics, every one of these packages has a cost. And the third, and the most importantly, is the margin. Simply, the revenue per piece minus the cost. This is the profit UPS keeps, but not all packages are made equal. Most of them are small. According to Capital One, the average Amazon order and package includes just 2.16 items. Amazon DSP drivers each deliver an average of 1.53 packages per delivery stop. And think about it, where do Amazon packages go? Typically homes, residential, and especially suburban homes. This is a big deal because it means a lot of small individual orders that need to be driven out to spread out homes. This is a huge cost. DHL states that the last mile of delivery is more than 53% of the cost. This means that Amazon packages are not only expensive, but also not very profitable because they're small. This is why delivery companies are so obsessed with drone delivery to homes, because that last mile cost is so high. More time driving, more stops, more gas, more staff cost. Compare that to business deliveries. Often massive, so high revenue, but also usually just one delivery or multiple packages to the same office building instead of a spread out suburban neighborhood. If you've got 100 packages each at $10 profit, but also 100 packages at just $1 profit, it's not always great to have that second bundle of packages. But there are even more problems with Amazon. Corporate giants like Amazon don't pay what you ask or might want. When a customer has a lot of power, like Amazon, you often charge what they ask. They often squeeze pricing because of how much volume they give you, and this is exactly what we see in UPS's financials. In 2025, at the time of the big cut, Amazon was about 25% of UPS's business, and simultaneously, only 11.8% of its revenue. A quarter of the business, but 1/10 of the revenue. CEO Tom even said, Amazon is our largest customer, but it's not our most profitable customer. Its margin is very dilutive to the US domestic business. Avoiding dilution to their profit margin. That's the plan. Decrease Amazon, decrease revenue, but overall, the margins grow in size. So, is this working? Is UPS actually better off? Speaking of sustainable growth, this channel didn't grow overnight. We've posted 1,100 videos over the past 8 years, though we still haven't crossed 1 million subscribers. We are close though, and I believe 2026 is the year. And if you subscribe right now, we can actually make that a reality. In Q1 2025, as UPS was heavily cutting Amazon, UPS reported a change. Their revenue per piece, aka per package, increased by 4.5%. Their packages on average were all making them more money. In late 2024, their operating margin for profit was 8.9%. But at the same time in 2025, it was now 10%. So all of that was for 1%? Who cares? But remember, 1% across billions of dollars is a lot of money. Halfway through 2025, their US domestic profit was $1.9 billion, $150 million more than 2024. Even stranger, UPS made $100 million less in revenue than 2024. It was working. And there was still a long way to go in scaling back Amazon. But even if they are making more profit, UPS has a lot of challenges. Cutting your biggest customer, even a low margin one, hurts, especially with one big change another delivery company just made. Shortly after UPS dropped Amazon in 2025, FedEx, who did the same thing in 2019, signed a new deal with them. FedEx began to work with Amazon once again. Was FedEx crawling back? Is Amazon just inevitable? Well, let's look a bit closer, because the terms of the deal show us the harsh truth. FedEx is reuniting with Amazon, and for residential, but there's a twist. It's only for large package deliveries. None of those small, low-margin deliveries that UPS cut. So FedEx is being smart. They're keeping Amazon for the packages that are worth doing, but that's not the only problem for UPS. In 2013, Amazon and UPS had a disaster. It was Christmas and the volume was too big and too sudden. But Amazon was still promising 2-day shipping despite the season. So they unloaded all this demand onto UPS, who just couldn't handle it. Of course, things got delayed and the customers were unhappy. Amazon and UPS paid out a lot of money in refunds, but what's more important is what changed that day. Amazon decided to create its own delivery service. Now, there are so many packages that they can't do it alone. That's why they've used UPS and FedEx. Amazon delivered 6.3 billion parcels in 2024, more than both UPS and FedEx, and nearing the United States Postal Service. But it's not just things you buy on Amazon. Amazon is now a competing carrier, offering to do shipping for other businesses too, not just those on Amazon. Though it isn't like UPS. Amazon, being a retail giant as well with a giant network, essentially gets to dictate the shipping world. They can decide what to offload and to whom, and with this, Amazon is reshaping the landscape. Each carrier around Amazon, like UPS and FedEx, could become increasingly specialized based on what Amazon needs, like FedEx and the large packages. The more Amazon controls, the more power they have, and the more demanding they could be to others like UPS. UPS saw that not only are Amazon deliveries lower margin, but also the market is getting swallowed by Amazon. This is why in 2025, they said they wanted to focus on fewer but more lucrative deliveries. They're becoming more specialized, for profit sure, but also because they have to. If they don't, Amazon will continue to say, better prices for us, or we'll just use our own network. So UPS is trying to climb out of low-margin delivery, while Amazon is changing what delivery even is. For most of modern shipping history, there were the big three: UPS, FedEx, and the USPS. Now, there's the big four. And the fourth is changing how the others even operate. UPS will never cut Amazon completely. Their CEO Tom herself said, "I don't think it will go all the way. I think we're landing at the right spot with this accelerated glide down." UPS is still a big provider for Amazon's customer returns too, but the game is changing. UPS can't just do the same thing as always if it's not going to work. Even if critics are all calling the move strange, what else can UPS do? There's an old saying in business: revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is king. Maybe more revenue isn't always better, or more Amazon specifically. What's even more ironic is that online-only brands are actively increasing overhead by opening up physical stores. Check out this video to learn more, but until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.